Welcome to another enlightening podcast from Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com, where we question everything. Human Touch, Miracle and Limitations. By the Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com team. There is a language that predates words. It is the first sense we develop in the womb, and it is often the last to fade as we leave this world. It is the sensation of pressure, warmth, and connection, the physical manifestation of presence. We call it human touch, and in its silent vocabulary, it speaks volumes. Let's take a closer look at the last of our 5 physical senses. In an age dominated by digital pings, emojis, and social media likes, the physical act of reaching out has become both more precious and more complex. To understand its power, we must look at the miracle of what touch does to us, while also acknowledging the hard limits of what it can achieve. The miracle, the architecture of connection. Biologically, human touch is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Research in developmental psychology has shown that infants who are held thrive, while those who are deprived of touch suffer developmental delays. This isn't just emotional sentiment. It is the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers cortisol levels and reduces stress. When we hold someone's hand during a difficult conversation, we are not just offering moral support. We are syncing our nervous systems. Our heart rates can literally fall into rhythm. This is the miracle of touch. It builds bridges between isolated minds. The silent healer. Studies have shown that a comforting touch can actually reduce pain. It is the reason we rub a sore knee or hold a headache. The pressure signals from touch receptors compete with pain signals for the brain's attention, offering a mild analgesic effect. The emotional anchor. Touch validates our existence. A hug conveys, "I am here, you are not alone," in a way words cannot. It bypasses the intellect and speaks directly to the primal brain, offering a feeling of safety and belonging. Nonverbal truth. While words can lie, the body rarely does. A gentle touch feels genuine. An awkward pat feels hollow. It is one of the few authentic channels of human communication left in a world of curated perfection. The limitations. Why touch isn't enough. However, to view human touch as the panacea for all our ills would be a mistake. Like any powerful tool, it has its limitations. We must be cautious about romanticizing the physical to the point where we expect it to solve problems it was never designed to fix. 1. The proximity problem. The most obvious limitation is physical distance. In a globalized world, our loved ones often live across oceans. Touch requires presence. While a phone call or a video chat can bridge miles, they cannot replicate the chemical exchange of a hug. The miracle of touch is bound by the laws of physics. It is local, and it is fleeting. 2. The context conundrum. Not all touch is good touch. The intention behind the gesture dictates its effect. An unwanted touch is not a miracle, it is a violation. Touch exists on a spectrum of consent and context. The same hand that comforts can also constrain. The miracle of touch hinges entirely on the emotional and social context in which it occurs. 3. The emotional gap. Perhaps the most significant limitation is that touch is a vehicle for emotion, but it is not a solution to emotional problems. If someone is dealing with deep-seated trauma, a hug is supportive, but it is not therapy. If a relationship is fractured by betrayal, physical intimacy might return, but without communication and trust, it is merely motion without meaning. Touch provides the feeling of connection, but it doesn't provide the framework of understanding. We often use touch as a band-aid for wounds that require stitches. We hug someone to avoid saying the hard thing, or we offer a hand to hold because we don't have the words to fix the issue. 4. The digital substitute. In our modern era, we are seeing a rise in digital touch. Emojis, hearts, and GIFs. While these are attempts to replicate the feeling, they are pale imitations. They highlight the limitation of touch by proving that we are desperate for it, yet often unable to achieve it. A heart reaction on a text is not a miracle, it is a shorthand. It is the memory of touch, not the reality of it. The convergence. So where does this leave us? The answer lies not in pitting the miracle against the limitation, but in understanding the synthesis. Human touch is a miracle because it is the physical signature of empathy. It is the proof that we are not just minds and frequencies floating in space, but physical bodies sharing a world. Human touch has limitations because it is the physical signature of empathy. It cannot be the empathy itself. It cannot fix the root cause of the pain. It can only share the burden of carrying it. The most profound interactions occur when touch is accompanied by words. When a hand on a shoulder is paired with an honest conversation. When a hug comes after a difficult apology. When intimacy is built on a foundation of trust, not just chemistry. The verdict. Human touch is the bridge between loneliness and connection. It is the spark that reminds us we are human. But we must stop expecting it to be a magic wand. It cannot cure the existential dread of mortality. It cannot fix a broken society. It cannot replace the hard work of understanding another person. It is, perhaps, the most beautiful not enough we will ever experience. It is not the solution, but it is the reassurance that a solution is worth fighting for. In a world that is increasingly cold, let us value the warmth we can offer, even as we acknowledge that sometimes the warmth is just the first step, the step that is needed to stay alive long enough to find the real answer. Now go and hug someone you love. Don't forget to sign up to our mailing list, follow our social channels, donate if you're able, and question everything with more free blogs and life-changing books at Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com. Thanks for listening to another enlightening podcast from Be Awake, Aware, Alive.com, where we question everything.